Sool, ghouls. Simmers. It is I, a Grimturn. Definitely not anyone you've seen on these streams before. In my attempt to be Employee of the Month, because let's be real, it's grim. It's been grim for an eternity. I'm following his lead and keeping my identity a secret. But our guest today will be showing up in full force to lift the veil on the Sims 4 Life and Death expansion pack. Soon, Morgan and Jessica will join us to show you some of the gameplay. And then we'll be joined by Mercy and Mike for a Create a Sim deep dive. And lastly, Morgan, Jessica, and Mike will return from beyond to show you the world and some of the build by. Now, I've got some souls to reap. I do have a quota after all.
Sool, I'm Morgan.
Sool, I'm Jessica Crafts. I'm the designer on Life and Death.
I was the producer. I forgot to tell everyone that.
How'd you get in here?
What am I doing here?
Who are you?
Yeah, that's who I am. So we're here to show you Life and Death today, and we're pretty excited.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, so this is Ravenwood, our world. And we're going to tell you a little bit about our lot and our story we have going. We did some preparation so we could just dive in and show you where we're at with our features here. This is our Sim Summer and her daughter Poppy. This is Crow's Crossing in Ravenwood. And this is the house they live in.
I love the build we got for this.
I do too. This was one of our pre-made houses. It's normally empty, but we have dressed it up a little bit for the live stream. I love this story because you can move into this house and it's like the haunted, empty, rundown mansion. And I think that's just such a fun story for this pack.
I love the holes in the roof. Like, I think these add so much character.
Yeah, they work like our kind of like our solar panels where you can just slot them onto any slope. You can also put them on the floor.
And the gorgeous greenhouse.
Mm-hmm. I love the greenhouse windows, like the holes in it, and then the ones that are just normal.
All the architecture of this, our art director made me promise to say it's neo-Romanian, not Gothic.
Yeah. Oh, I want to call out too, starting off here, we do have all packs enabled just so we can show some cool cross-pack stuff today. So this hopscotch thing right here is cross-pack. I have it down for a little bit of a demonstration later. And I'll be trying to call that out whenever I'm showing off something that's cross-pack versus just Life and Death or base game specific. So here we have some of our new cemetery objects.
I love the swings. It's very, not the pack I'm expecting swings in.
There's 2 swings in this pack.
Swings are creepy.
They are creepy.
Like, if you ever watched the intro for any of the old show, like Nickelodeon shows, like, swings are creepy.
That's true, yes. So starting off, I did some playing to set up this family. This is Summer Vernon, and this is her daughter, Poppy. And once upon a time, Summer was married, but her husband, this is a picture of him, he met a tragic end. His name was Noel. I did kill him on purpose for this stream. I know. And she had a mother and a father once upon a time. Her father is buried out back right here. Maximus was his name. He loved cheese. Yes. And then I was going to try to get her mother to a point where she was old enough that she might die in her sleep in the bed on stream. But then I accidentally caught her afire.
You're like cursed. All your Sims are destined to burn to death.
Yeah, and I just left it.
I love the scorch marks.
It was a big fire. The firefighter that came to try to save her also died, so I buried him in the backyard.
She's proud.
Yep.
Was it strong enough to survive a fire started by Morgan? Accurate.
Yep, that's true. So I like that he's just out here and back. But she is over here, and we're going to do a funeral for her since she died technically yesterday in game. So
I love all the little things you've entered on their urns.
Yeah, I love customizing my stories. There's actually a lot of stuff you can customize in this pack too, so we'll show that off. So yeah, this is Summer. Let's take a look at her traits just to get to know who she is. She's a romantic sim, but there's a few new traits here. So Chased by Death, you want to tell me about that one?
Yeah, this is a really exciting one. This is kind of a challenge trait, but we've never really done one of these. So Sims players will know that if you do something that might kill your sim, like you get electrocuted, you usually get a warning before it kills you. If you do it again, it kills you. Chased by death, you might not get that warning. You're living life on the edge. It's much more dangerous to be a chased by death sim. And because you're living life on the edge, you're more self-reflective, and it's going to grant you some special abilities that we'll see later on. And also, there's some interesting story moments I don't really want to spoil. Hopefully, we see one of them if you're a chased by death sim.
It's my new favorite trait because I like the chaos of all this. Yeah. So I'm excited, and I love the story moments. I think those are really nice. She's also macabre, which is just a classic trait for this pack.
Macabre might be my favorite trait because I myself am a bit macabre. If you ever interacted with me, Sims are macabre are they're not scared of death. They're more the type of Sims that will play with the idea of death. They enjoy the occult. They enjoy the morbid. They might like hanging out in a crypt. They might like the moonlight. They're kind of goth.
I love that. Okay, and then Poppy has 2 traits. Ignore the really cool one here on the right. Let's look at skeptical.
So skeptical is kind of the inverse of macabre in a lot of ways. Skeptical sims, as you might expect, are skeptical of everything occult. If you run into an occult as a skeptical sim, you're going to be able to demand proof that they're really a ghost, really a vampire, that kind of thing. My favorite use of this actually is if you are an occult sim that is themselves skeptical. So if you're a vampire that's skeptical and you just doubt yourself, you're like, no, there's no way I could be a vampire. Vampires aren't real. It's an interesting story.
Yeah, that's my favorite story with it too. It pairs really well with Ghosts, but if you have those other expansion packs, we definitely supported those with this one.
A lot of cross-pack stuff here.
Mm-hmm. And then down here, we also have the Grimborn trait on this sim. What's the Grimborn trait?
Well, I mean,
this one might be my favorite trait.
I don't know all the traits. I think it's pretty self-explanatory how you might become a Grimborn sim. Grimborn sims have a very interesting birthmark if you want to show that off.
Yeah. Okay, so they all have this birthmark right here under their ear. It's scythe-shaped.
Yeah, and they'll also have an extended lifespan. And you want to talk about how you can pass it on a little bit?
Yeah, so if whenever Poppy grows up, she has her own kids, her kids will have a special trait that's called like the descendant of Grimm. So that doesn't offer the birthmark or the extended life, but it's really cool that it carries on for a few generations after even.
Yeah, I guess it's worth saying with Life and Death, you can have kids with Grimm now. I think that's fairly obvious.
We fixed with the base game update where you can woohoo with Grimm again. And then with this pack, you can now try for baby with Grimm.
We know what you guys are about.
Yeah. I remember when Sims 4 came out, I tried it. And so I'm really excited we finally can. I think a lot of people probably are. So let's see here. We also have another member of our family. This is Mr. Chaos.
That's a great name. I should name my cat that.
Mr. Chaos became a member. This was like a randomized name I chose. You can name it whatever you would like. Let's go ahead and interact with him a little bit. This is the crow pet that you can have.
Yeah, it has interactions you might expect. Like you can feed it, you can clean its perch, you can talk to it. There's also fun stuff unique to the crow, like you can teach it mimicry. If you're a macabre sim, you can plot nefarious plans with it. You also send it out to go get things for you, give you gifts.
He's a wee bit angry right now.
Yeah.
I guess because he's starving, so I hope I don't upset him.
I mean, if you're particularly bold, you can provoke it. I don't recommend that.
Well, we're chased by death, so I definitely don't want to provoke him right now. Okay, there, he's fine now. Let's discuss our nefarious plans which is a macabre interaction you can do with him.
I love it whenever we add these little critters.
Yeah, I also like that you can give gifts and receive gifts. If he had one on him, we could receive one from him, which I think is pretty fun. I also love the teaching mimicry. That's another part I really love about this. So we also, just to show this off, we're on a Hallowed Grounds lot trait. Do you want to tell me about the new lot trait that comes?
Hallowed Grounds makes the lot more spooky, essentially. So it adds things like flickering lights. You might see a TV pop on randomly, just showing static. You see cold spots around the house. You also see occasionally another world rift. I won't spoil what that does. This is also interesting because you can put on any lots, and it's different than haunted. It's not the same thing as haunted. You in fact have a haunted lot that's also on Hallowed Grounds, and they have a super spooky house.
The haunted lot is from the paranormal stuff pack, so they work well together. If you have them both, they do different things. I like putting this one on a cemetery myself.
Oh yeah, it fits.
Yeah. And then let's see. So let's go ahead and start the story. So like I said, yesterday, Summer's mother died.
Tragic.
It was tragic. It was funny, but it was tragic. And then she also had written a will before she died. And so we have received our, I don't know what I just did there. We have received our will in the mail. And I want us to open it up, read it, see what her mother said in her last testament and will. So
Seeing a lot of excitement over wills. I think they're going to add a lot for generational players here.
And then we're going to have Poppy come here too, because I'm going to read it in front of Poppy.
That's grim.
So when you read a will in front of a sim now, they'll react differently based on sort of their relationship with that person or their traits. I don't think Poppy was super close with her grandma, so I'm not sure if she will or not here, but we'll give it a shot and see if she does.
We'll set up a well later too. I'm sure everyone's curious, like what that's actually like.
So you can see in our inventory, we also have some tarot cards, which are beautiful, and we'll take a look at those. So let's go ahead and read this will out loud. The will of Marie Vernon. It has arrived. Heirloom, dear old grandfather clock will be given to Summer. Preferred funeral activities, she listed them. Oh, she doesn't care. And I never did like cheese as much as Maximus. No cheese at my funeral will haunt you all. I wrote that. You can write whatever kind of a personalized message you'd like. So
yeah, like on a lot of these objects, we added the ability to add customized messages, which allow you to just tell like your own poignant stories in a very unique way for whatever the story your sim is.
So this said that we received a heirloom here, and it's in our household inventory, the dear old grandfather clock. You can see all of these actually say heirloom eligible. We made it so a lot of objects, including cross-pack ones. Yeah,
it was kind of hard to identify exactly what people would want to heirloom. So we erred on the side of making most things heirloomable. If you don't want to see the heirloom interaction on everything, you can also turn that off in the options menu.
Which is really handy. So this one was the heirloom object. And if I hover over it, you can see it says Marie Vernon's heirloom, given to Marie by her husband Maximus as a wedding present. That's another custom thing I wrote in there to help tell that story.
Like the ability to enter custom text, but I think it opens up a lot of avenues for just telling unique stories.
So when you receive an heirloom, there's lots of things I can do with it here. You want to tell me about these?
Well, if you want to upset other family members, you might want to pawn it. Require a lot of simoleons. You also think
it's worth a lot.
You can think and reminisce about the original owner. You can call upon sims, which will occasionally summon the ghost of that particular heirloom. Are you trying it?
I'm going to see. We'll see what happens.
It's not 100%, so we'll see if she shows up.
Summoning successful. How nice of you to summon me. Just stopping by to say hello. Yeah, that's pretty fun.
There she is.
There she is. All right. We can also make our own heirlooms. So both Summer and Poppy are pianists and love their piano. So we have this grand piano here. Let's go ahead and make this an heirloom.
All right.
So Summer will come on over. And now, yay, when I hover over it, it says Summer Vernon's heirloom. So I can go into this heirloom category. I can make it worth more. I could pass it on. I could engrave a message. So something custom like Summer and Poppy played piano when it would rain. And now I've got a story associated with it. And you have her picture, you have the little story.
I hope that you engraved it on a plaque or something. I'm just trying to imagine engraving something on a piano, and it kind of hurts me.
Like a chisel out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like the memory, the story that gets passed down over generations.
Do you want to pick who might go to?
Yeah, we can. So right now, Poppy's a little young for it to go to her. So that can go to other people I know. So I know 3 other people right now. I don't know how I got in a romantic relationship with him, but it happened. So I can choose which
I'm
things.
asking questions.
Asking questions. I can choose which one I might want to send it to, and then it will create a will in my inventory, and it will heirloom onto them. So I'm not going to at this point, but that is something you can do. Let's go ahead then and check out our Soul's Journey and our bucket list.
All right, Soul's Journey is super exciting to me as a designer. So this is essentially a meta progression reward track for your Sims. So it's bigger than an aspiration. It's bigger than a want. It kind of encapsulates the whole life of your Sim, their journey through their life. And as you do things like complete bucket list goals, which we'll talk about in a second, or even complete things like aspirations, which are feeding this, you advance this track and unlock various things the further you get along, eventually culminating in some bonuses for Rebirth, which is a thing I know a lot of folks are excited about, and we'll talk about a little bit later.
So this section's locked off to me because I'm not a ghost yet.
Yeah, that's your unfinished business. So if you die and become a ghost, your Soul's Journey will transition into becoming your unfinished business, which further has cool things you can unlock.
Okay. Well, I've completed a lot of progress here. I'm not all the way to being able to experience Rebirth.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking let's get some goals and figure out how we can get them.
Let's talk about bucket list. Bucket list is really, really exciting. So bucket list is essentially major life goals for your Sims that are assigned based on things like their traits, things like the life they've led, the people they know. They're much more dynamic and emergent than say an aspiration. An aspiration is more prescriptive, where you say, this is the story I want to tell this Sim. This is the thing I want there to be their goal. Bucket list is going to serve you up things that fit who they are, but aren't necessarily the same things every time. They'll be different for every Sims. It adds a lot of replayability. And I find the funnest thing of it is it gets me to do some things that I don't normally do when I'm playing. Because I think a lot of folks, myself included, seem to get locked into play patterns. I think this disrupts that in a very interesting way.
So she doesn't have any goals right now. They can populate based on your traits and who you are as a Sim and kind of like what you've done in life. Mm-hmm. So the other day I got one on her that was, I want to see a Sim die. And I was like, that's really dark.
As we all do. No, yeah.
She's macabre.
Yeah, it really fits for a character.
Yeah. But you also don't have to wait necessarily. You can also create your own. So you can do this on the computer or on the new journal object that we've added here. There are some extra interactions on this journal because we also have the Parenthood pack. But bucket list is here with this pack. And so the bucket list, I can write a goal, write the perfect goal, or write a goal from category. So write goal is just going to let me write a random goal. But once again, it's going to pull into account my traits and who she is as a Sim, and it's going to give us some goals based on that.
Every time we do this, I'm so curious what it serves up.
It's really fun. This has all packs too, so it'll pull from our list of all packs.
Okay, let's go on an unforgettable camping trip.
Okay, she wants to go to Granite Falls, so this is a cross pack one.
I haven't been to Granite Falls in a minute. So this is, again, an example of it will drive you to do some things that you might not have engaged with in a while. And I think that's really fun, given the huge library of things we've done over the years.
I agree with that. That's what really made me love this feature was the stories that helped me tell. That I wasn't necessarily thinking I wanted to tell, and then it would pop up, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, that is a really fun thing to do."
Yeah.
So let's write something from a category. There's lots of categories here that you can pull from, and it'll give you something random from that category.
Right.
This is my favorite way to get a goal personally. So let's see which one we could do. I want to adventure. So let's see. We'll get an adventure-based one here. I guess this one was probably an adventure-based one, but
it depends on how memorable the camping trip is.
Yeah. So let's see here. She's writing her goal. She wants to go on an interstellar adventure in Batu.
Oh, fun.
That's another cross-pack one. Okay. And then let's see here. We could also bucket list, write the perfect goal.
Right. I also want to say you can scrap the bucket list and start over if you're feeling like the goals aren't aligning with a story you want to tell.
Yeah. So let's say we were feeling that way. She's going going off to scrap it. And then, so we can write the perfect goal. But perfect goal is not always available.
Yeah.
It is oftentimes grayed out with instructions on how you can unlock it. But the way you can write the perfect goal is if you are a chase by death sim, because they're always trying to get the most out of life at every moment because they know death's just around the corner. If you've recently seen someone die, she did technically see your mother die yesterday. Or if you've attended an Afterlife Anonymous festival.
Yeah, I mean, the fun part here is we really are trying to guard the ability to specifically prescribe what goal you have, just because we want you to try and experiment with new things. I think that the fun of the game is experiencing the breadth of content that we have.
Definitely. So I'm choosing a family one this time for her. That's the create a perfect goal, just to show how this is a little bit different whenever you do it this way.
And some of these goals are a lot more nuanced than you might see in something like an aspiration, which is another thing I really like about them.
I like that they update with where you're at in life too. So I'd like to have another child is only there because she already has a child. Mm-hmm. So if she hadn't had one, it would probably just be, I want to have a child.
Yeah. The one I really like is I should reconnect with my family before it's too late. That's a really poignant story, relatable to a lot of folks, and much more nuanced than I think you might see from an aspiration.
Yeah, there's some really good stories you can tell with these.
That one's sweet.
Tell your children that you're proud of them. Want to be seen as a role model. So her mother just died, and her mother had written a will. And I think maybe Summer is feeling like I should also write a will. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to protect the future of my assets. And now...
Why? Is this a chase by death sim?
Yeah, definitely. And so she's going to go write her will. You can do this at the Family Day Festival. Ooh, I spun too far. That happens over here. Whenever there's a wills lawyer, there's a little ghost swinging on that swing.
I'm telling you, swings are creepy.
It's so creepy. You can also go here and start a will on the city hall in this town. There's also a service we can hire a wills lawyer to come and help you, but we're just going to do it on the computer here that I put on the kitchen table.
As one does.
As one does. Start will. So, she's speaking a dead language with her daughter again.
Right. There's a thanatology skill. It ties in a bit with the Grim Reaper career we've added, but essentially lets you do things like speak dead languages. There's a special soup you might be able to make. I won't talk too much about it.
I think the speak dead language is really creepy and fun.
Thanatology means study of death practices, by the way, if anyone's wondering. We didn't make that word up.
So she did just do this bucket list item, which actually fulfilled her whole bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now she could be reborn if she died. Mm-hmm. And this section is still waiting for whatever she's a ghost.
We'll talk more about Rebirth later.
But we do have the will of Summer Vernon and the will of Marie Vernon. So Summer has her own will now. Let's go ahead and show what all you can do. Since before we were just reading. So you can obviously clear your choices if you want to do that, if that's something you're interested in doing. You can also click on your will, and you can choose to do your heirlooms from there. So you already saw from the object. You can also do it on the will itself. You can also click on Update Will and choose Dependents, this one's really nice, I think. So I can choose her daughter, Poppy. And if you had the cats or dogs expansion, you could also choose your cats or your dogs.
Yeah, you choose who they would go to if someone were to pass.
Mm-hmm. So if the rest of this household, the other adults in the household are gone, this is where that sim will go to. So we're friends with the Spectre family here. So let's just choose them. The Poppy can go live with them if something were to happen to Summer.
Yeah, generational gameplay was a big focus of our efforts in this pack.
You can also do simoleons, so you can choose a percentage. So I want 40% to go to charity or another household. Mm-hmm. So let's just say another household, and then let's see. We could go back in and choose the remaining percentage to go elsewhere if we wanted. You can also do sim remains. So funeral activities. If Summer dies, these are what Summer would like to have at her funeral.
All of them.
All of them. She wants it all. So
relatable.
And then sim remains, you can also choose what sort of a gravestone or urn you would like.
You know, the first time we implemented this, I was so surprised. I did not realize we had this many gravestones and urns.
Mm-hmm. This is with This is with all of our packs on right now. So you can see if you have Island Living, you also have the Mermaid urn, or if you have Get to Work, you also have the Alien urn. So some of these, this one's from Horse Ranch. So some of these are from Cross Pack. I think this one's a new one with this pack. This one is a new one with this pack. This one's the base game one. So these ones are new ones with this pack. So that's definitely going to be fun to explore when this comes out. But yeah, with all packs, there's a ton of them. I'm going to pick this one, which is new with this pack. It's like the little crow.
It's a raven, right? Or a crow.
Yeah, it's my favorite. I think it's very macabre too, so it'll really suit her well. And then let's leave a personal note. So set a motion. You want to explain how this works?
Yeah, this is how you tell a story of like the family members that are super upset by the outcome of the will. So you can set angry, or you want to have like a more joking, like final message, folks. You can set funny. And you can write your own little story of what the will says.
So you'd be like, I leave you nothing.
Nothing.
And then it's going to make them all angry. But whenever you read it, it does kind of also take into account their traits and how they felt about you. And like, so if they're materialistic and you leave them no heirlooms or it goes to someone else, they're more likely to be mad. Yeah. And if they're generous, and even if you said mean, they're probably like, it's okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuance here. We tried to add more nuance and depth in general.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
We might see it at some point through this playthrough, but we've done things like there's different reactions to death now. Traditionally in The Sims, it's been a little bit one note where everyone is just bawling their eyes out. Mm-hmm. Now if you see a Sim die, there's going to be a variety of reactions. Some will bawl their eyes out, but some might just stoically kind of sniffle a little bit, hold it together.
The reactions are part of the base game update, so they should be in. And then the actual mourning, the way you can mourn, that is part of this expansion. And I think I actually cleared away the mourning or the sadness she had from her mother dying just so she wouldn't be very sad this whole live stream. But I left it on Poppy. And as you can see, Poppy is still going through that initial loss period. And we'll see if she develops a type of grief when she's gone through that.
Yeah.
So you don't always develop a grief style.
So grief, I'll just talk about it now in case we don't see it. But
yeah,
there's different styles of grief. Grief is more a long-term sadness that comes out of a major traumatic life event. And there's a variety of them, from things like being angry about it, being in denial. But there's also positive outcomes, like just holding together and handling it well. Different traits might influence that. I believe if you're macabre, you're more likely to be able to hold it together.
Yeah, and I love that there's a lot of different ways you can solve for your grief too. You don't just have to solve it one or two ways.
Yeah, there's like counseling, but you can also lean into like positive hobbies like cooking or I believe planting things.
I like the painting one.
Yeah.
So we have work tomorrow. I am in the Reaper career at level 9.
Level 9, wow, you've been busy.
Yeah. Summer is a pretty experienced Reaper and is going to go to work in 5 hours. So while we wait, I was thinking maybe we check out the Ghost Historian aspiration here.
This is a really fun aspiration. I think this is one of the first times we've added some gameplay from an aspiration. Mm-hmm. So if you're a Ghost Historian, you're actually going to unlock the ability to write a horror novel, which I was kind of shocked we didn't already have the ability to write a horror novel, but now you do if you're a Ghost Historian.
It's amazing.
It's the idea of, you're researching into the cult and just writing about it. There's also some fun animations, like as you check off these goals, someone will pull out a little scratch pad and like write down her findings.
Yeah, I love that. It feels very narrative to me. And this is sort of like telling the story of somebody who's like learning about ghosts and trying to find everything out about them. So I've already made a lot of progress here. And next step is make contact with Edith. This is Edith.
She's our scary ghost girl.
She's terrifying. She haunts the well of longing and regret, which you can come here to make wishes on. But if you like attempt communication, you can get her mark, which will make your rewards better. But also she's terrifying, and sometimes she makes you pass out, and sometimes
We'll see how this goes.
We'll see how this goes.
There's a lot of gift here. She likes kids more. Kids are more likely to succeed.
She's just so scary.
Inspired by...
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Yeah, Yep, she's definitely not ready to talk. Okay. Well, at least we didn't pass out.
Well, you tried.
We tried.
You completed your aspiration goal. So.
I did meet her. I have met her.
And
Let's
we're
get
both
out of
about it.
here. Okay. So yeah, now I can write a horror book. I've unlocked the ability to do that. And that's very exciting to me, I think. So, and we've got work in a few hours. So let's go ahead and go home. 3 hours, it says. We could do a little tour of the neighborhood while we wait for that. So this is the area where we have a Family Day festival. Up here we have a Celebration of Life festival. There's this little playground where these specters hang out around. One's named Freddy. And
I love that we were able to pull these forward. They're so cute.
Yeah, they aren't everywhere, but they definitely hang out in the little kidsy area. Sometimes the swing swings on its own, and it's very scary.
Again, like I just have the image of a swing, like swinging on its own at night from like various things I watched as a kid.
Yeah, I may not do it, so we'll move on, but it's creepy when it does. This is Moppy the goat. Look at this beautiful statue. I love this one, like a statue fountain.
Heavy goat motif.
This is our city hall, so you can read a billboard about or use the amenities to help your needs. You can start a will here. You can use this to focus on the different areas around the area if you're wanting to find like where all the points of
nice
interest
quality of
are.
life thing to be added. Sometimes it can be hard to find things in the world, especially you don't know what you're looking for, and you can use this to try and just move the camera over to an area you should look at.
You can also read ancient archives, go in there and have some fun story moments.
I love our adventure moments.
There are these houses that looks like there's a party going on
There's
inside.
like a rave going on there, or ghosts.
If you're a ghost, you can go in there and infest them. And if you're a normal, so you can go cleanse them. But that's not the one. These two right here. They're like the twin haunted houses here in the neighborhood you can go explore. This is one of our starter homes that you can live in. Up here is a starter plus, so 3 Sims can move in as a starter home. And then over here we have the Spectre family, who you've seen pop up in menus a few times. This is where they live. And I'm not sure we'll get to see it today, but there's a very creepy basement in this
We'll see how
house.
much time we have. I love the neighborhood, though. It's beautiful.
This is the crypt that you can explore. You can nap in. You can use it to join the Undertaker career, which we haven't talked about. So Undertaker career is a new career that you can be a funeral director or a mortician in. It's more realistic, and it's the more classic rabbit hole style career versus the Reaper one, which is an active profession where you go there and you're doing the work.
You also can woohoo in it. Just thought I'd get that out of the way.
You can definitely woohoo in this crypt as well. We've added a few places you can woohoo in this pack. So there's this. We added in coffins. So you can woohoo in a coffin.
Who's that fellow?
This fellow is the Mysterious Merchant. So he has some special interactions on him.
Definitely not shady.
He is shady. You want to talk about him?
Well, you can purchase an air quotes authentic pre-made will from him.
That
That's
doesn't sound like that's
totally
gonna go
legit.
Bad. You can also just purchase wares. He has some souls you can buy, and I use it to help me meet my quota at work.
Very trustworthy.
Yeah. And then if you're a ghost and you've created Fear or Goodwill Essence, you can also use that to sell them. So it's a way you can earn money while haunting as a ghost. So he's pretty cool and interesting. Good luck if he makes your will. He's haunting that. And we have work here in 12 minutes. So that's just perfect timing. This is our cemetery, but these can be placed. This is a new venue type that can be placed in any world, any lot that you'd like to turn into one. But this one's beautiful. So let's get ready to go to work. Death calls. It's time for Summer to head to work. Care to join her, or should Summer reap alone?
Join.
We should join.
I keep joking that Morgan is going to click on send alone by accident when she's at end the stream.
Yeah, that could happen. So this career, it's an active one we're playing, and I'm a level 9, and at level 9, it's definitely like a different type of gameplay than you will experience at level 1. So it really progresses as you level up, and then day to day.
Yeah, we haven't done an active career in a minute. And really, with this one, we really tried to make it so each day has a lot of unique activities that as you progress through your career, there's new events, new things being thrown at you. And this one's a lot of fun. Like, definitely keep coming back to this one. You can see a variety of interesting events unfold. I also just love the build of the Headless Quarters. Like, it's such an ominous place, but it's kind of like charming in a very tongue-in-cheek way. It feels almost like a creepy office job.
It does. I love this a lot. I love like the workplace motivational posters. You know,
it's all grim.
This is Grim's desk. This is the rewards you get if you meet your soul quota. You can see, obviously, your boss is Grim, who Summer is romantic with.
Scandalous.
Scandalous. This is Grim's personal crow. And then downstairs, we have my favorite motivational poster, which
Employee
is
of the Month.
Employee
It's
of the
Grim.
Month.
It's always Grim.
There's this dummy you can go over here. You can practice your reaping on. There are these scrying things, scrying bowls. I love the gnome.
The little reaper gnome.
It's so cool.
Really cute.
So yeah, let's go ahead and start doing our work for the day. So our first objective here is to scry for an assignment. So let's go on down here and scry for an assignment.
What's a scrying mole got for us?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out what is going to happen today because you never know. I have hopes and dreams on which one we'll get, but we'll see. I like the one where you get to choose if you reap them or not.
Oh,
and
yeah.
plead.
Some of them, they'll plead for their life, and it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to go through with it.
Okay, a crisis call is coming in. Sims with a sweet tooth have been tricked by a mischievous cow plant. Be ready to reap a few Sims that have gotten their just desserts.
Oh, fun. Yeah, so there's a bunch of different events. I think another one is there's a comedy club where a comedian told a joke that's so funny it knocked them all dead.
Yeah.
So, like, you'll have different challenges like this you'll go to.
Sometimes there's, like, portals will open up everywhere and you'll have to close them and, like, prepare the soul, like, portal over here. But we're apparently a cow plant has gone wild. So let's go deal with that. Let's travel there. So would I like to travel? Yes. Let's see what's happened. I haven't gotten this one in a while. But I love a good cow plant.
Cow plants creep me out. I don't know if I already told this. Like, carnivorous plants creep me out.
So I think this is Brindleton Bay.
Wow, that's that cow plant. There's a lot of death sims.
Yep, got him. Okay, let's go investigate just to prove that it was the cow plant on these Sims.
I'm just saying, I would not. If I saw a cow plant in real life, I would run or get a flamethrower.
Get him over here. I hope somebody else gets got while we're here. Okay, so she's going to do some investigating and make sure that is what is going on in this situation.
And a lot of the gameplay of the day-to-day of the Reaper career is to try and make the preparations to do the perfect soul-taking, or the perfect reap, if you will. And it will be things like you can perform scythe maintenance, you can do some research on the target, you can analyze death trends, and it's all in preparation for that moment where you try and take the soul.
So will these ever be Sims I've played here?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about this. Sometimes you might actually see Sims that you know that are potentially dying, but you will always have the chance to spare them if they're a Sim from your playthrough. So it's not going to like randomly kill a Sim that you really care about.
So these are like randomly generated ones that we have here
Right.
that have died, not ones that matter to players.
Yeah.
But in the events where you get to say yes or no, those are the ones. I always reap them because I have a quota to make.
I think it's fun if you just lean into it. I think like with this pack, I know there's some hesitation to let Sims die. With this pack, really, we've leaned into making it less punishing to have a Sim die, and also more exciting. Like there's a lot more you can do with death now.
So we're almost there. She's taking a while.
There's a lot of bodies here.
Yep. So she's going to determine the cause of death. Yep, she's able to confidently prescribe it. The death was caused by cowplant devourment, falsified cake, the ultimate betrayal.
I mean, I feel like the conclusion was obvious here that the cow plant had something to do with it, but I guess we have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt.
I think another thing I love about this career is the text. Like, it's just very tongue-in-cheek, and everything that happens, I'm always laughing at it. Like, I love that personally. So we are collecting souls.
You do a fancier collection than that.
We'll do a flamboyant one.
Oh, did you just fail?
Oh, yep, I did just fail. I didn't prepare enough going in. Okay, let's collect it carefully this time. There we go.
Some level 9 Reaper you are.
I know. Let's collect it like Grim.
Oh, fancy.
Oh, fancy. Okay, I like these ones because this gives me so many souls for
It's a
my
very
quota
profitable
this week.
day, yeah.
All right, we have done it. So let's go ahead and return to the office then. Sometimes if like somebody was like asking you not to reap them, you have to console them and like go around. You can sometimes ask the urns for a review, which I think is hilarious.
You can spare them. I never do. I'm here to do a job.
So now we are going to release all our souls. So let's go ahead and do that.
Ooh, big spooky portal.
Yes.
And I did not know you could use the souls from Wayland for this until you told me about that. That is fun.
Yeah, whenever you have a soul in your inventory, you can go release it. And I've got a quota to make. So I guess if you were like a very generous person and you didn't want to take people's souls, you could go to Wayland and take those souls instead.
And analyze some death trends.
Yeah, so there's some other fun interactions around here you can do. So we could go practice our reaping, but it's asking us to analyze our death trends. So let's go ahead and analyze some death trends here on the computer. And this is like the tongue-in-cheek office job style version of these. But I think there's some like really fun story moments that come with these, so I enjoy doing them. There's mortal life.
Oh
my
the
gosh.
puns. Stats say that death by killer rabbit is not trending as high as it could be. This gives Summer an idea. What if Grim could start a petting zoo featuring these fluffy little monsters? This idea could certainly increase the stats, but how could we promote this endeavor? Surely we would need to warn some of the potential dangers, or do we?
No.
Are we warning them? We're not.
No.
Advertise as a fluffy pet.
It's a fluffy pet. Grim is impressed by Summer's initiative. Scouting the perfect location is in progress as we speak. Relationship gained with Grim.
Nice.
Yep. Okay. So that was fun. Let's see. We can also... I like scrying for lost souls. It's not an objective right now, but I'll do it because I think it's fun. I like the stories that pop up with these ones too a lot. Wayward Souls. Do you want to read it?
Sure. While gazing into the swirling vortex, Summer is able to see Wayland has some souls in his wares that have not been authorized by Grim. Should she send a coworker to the crypt and handle Wayland, or just let it go? This is like your source, isn't it?
Yeah, this is like my source. I'm not going to turn him in.
Don't snitch on Wayland.
Yeah, I'm not going to snitch on him. Let's let it go. I need those souls. Summer decides to let it go, but Grim is displeased.
Oh, no.
Apparently, Grim places loyalty above all else. Well, I wasn't going to tell on him. So,
Your soul dealer.
Yeah. Oh, this is the guy that I have a romance with that I don't know why. I guess he's a coworker.
Wow, scandalous.
Okay, so we can also plan our reaping schedules. I'll just fast forward here just so we can get through everything in the live stream today. But there's a lot of fun stuff from looking up historical deaths to other things you can do around here. And I think it's super fun to explore. I only did silver
I like
today.
active careers. It's nice to do them again.
Okay. But I still make good money.
You make a lot of... Oh, yeah, you're rank 9.
Yeah. You make a lot of money. The souls business is a lucrative business.
Stonks.
So I've been planning that when we get back from work, we would plan a funeral for my mother.
Okay.
So that is my plan here. Let's go ahead and do that. And I will fix my needs, just cheat it for the live stream. So, and then I will also cheat my daughter's needs really quick. And send her downstairs. And then, so you can plan a funeral via the calendar or the phone. If you go here, you can scroll down, add a funeral event. But my new favorite way you can do this is actually on the urn itself. Mm-hmm. I think it's really quick, and it also puts in the sim from the urn so it's a little bit quicker to do.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about planning funerals?
Yeah, so you can invite guests. You can also have hired mourners, which I think is really fun. Personally, when I die, I want to hire a mourner, just a woman dressed in all black that carries a black umbrella and wears black sunglasses, that stands by herself in the rain, doesn't talk to anyone, so people think I live a very sordid and adventurous life. You also set a guest attire, so a dress code, colors, everything you may expect there.
And the activities.
Yeah, and what are those highlighted ones being?
The highlighted ones are ones that her mother said that she wanted. You can see their desired activities from the departed. So in her will, her mother had said, I want all of these. So as a loving daughter, we will select the ones that her mother wanted and not the other ones as our activities for this. And then sometimes the departed does show up. So want to make sure she likes it.
And then select any number of locations. There's a whole lot of locations you can have a funeral at.
Mm-hmm. So we'll choose this one here at home since I've already planned and set up for it. And we really wanted to give people flexibility to tell different stories with their funerals and their sims. So lots of options there. And these act a little bit more like a wake.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to characterize it. These are more of a wake where it's about kind of just hanging out and like commemorating the dead and helping each other grieve than it is like a formal, like everyone sits down for like the closing of the casket and that kind of thing.
She's still in her work outfit, so I'm going to tell her to change into her party outfit, which is beautiful. I love the sleeves on this one. I think it's so good. All right. And I've already done a little bit of decorating around here, but as people arrive, let's go ahead and click on this and let's just have a moment of silence so people can arrive to this moment of silence. I invited some ghosts. So this is actually my deceased father. And then I invited my deceased husband. Oh, he's over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of my coworkers. Good turnout. Yeah, a lot of people came. So, yeah, people are coming. We're all having a moment of silence at the moment. But we can also... Oh, yeah?
Oh, I was going to say, I love the memorial displays we added here.
Yes.
They're really customizable. We wanted this to be an open thing where you can tell the stories you want to tell about the specific sim. So, like, if the sim was perhaps a writer, you could put books on here if you wanted, or if they're into music, you could put some CDs on here.
We have 3 objects on here. So I just dedicated this display to Marie. And because this portrait was on here, it automatically updated with her picture, but I could also update it here and assign it to somebody different if I wanted. And it updates with a picture of them right before they died.
Yeah.
So if you change them as a ghost, this is what Marie looked like, and she doesn't look like a ghost here. So it's really nice. So if I forgot to take a picture of her,
forgot.
Yeah, then I have one. You could also slot in pictures from your wall. So if you like took an actual picture with a camera, you could put it in here. And I think it's a wonderful way to memorialize your Sims.
My favorite thing is these messengers we add, these little mushroom fellas.
They're so sweet.
And you leave a little message, and the idea is they carry that message on to the afterlife for that person.
If you're into build by text, I definitely read that one because it's super sweet and there's some fun lore with it. There is also the urns where you can now update which urn you want to have displayed. So if I wanted to put it down here on the floor, I could display as a gravestone or an urn, and I could choose whichever ones I wanted. So I could choose to display it like this.
That one's bigger than I thought it was.
I could choose to display it like this. And this is part of the base game update that you can display them as whatever ones you have available. And then we also have this casket where if I wanted, I could even put... Oh, she's using it right now. She's lighting a candle for it. Okay. I could also put it in the casket, and then she's in there. And now I can also place funerary drapes on it.
Yeah, I love putting things on top of it. I think it looks great.
It does. And then the flower spray tribute, so you can kind of customize how you want this to look. We can also put it back, and then let's just make this urn look like...
I like the vampire one.
Okay, we'll do the vampire one. This is from the Vampires expansion pack. And then, yeah, we could do a eulogy. So people will kind of be going around and mourning in their own way, doing their own sort of thing. But there are certain things like eulogizing or the moment of silence where they'll come over and participate.
Yeah, I like planting something for the person. I think that's very cycle-lifey.
That's my favorite interaction. You can go over here, you can plant something for them, and then you have that object to remember them by. You can pour one out. And even if you didn't select it, those are still available as interactions that you're able to do. These are just sort of the guide for what you
it's more, the funeral / wake is more about freeform storytelling. Like, how do you want to commemorate this sim?
Yeah. So I also, while we're here, I wanted to work on our quest that we have going.
Oh, yeah.
With Nyan.
For Tarot.
Where is he at? Let's focus camera. Oh, he's in the back. Oh, we could show these too. So we also have these grave sites, which you can slot on and move on gravestones and urns as well. And you can change them to stone or to dirt. And if I wanted, I could also... There's like a lot of different variant options for these, for what they look like too, which is really nice. I clicked away just a second. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So those are super cool, and you can tend them, mourn them whenever it's slotted in. But sorry, like I was saying, I got distracted. This is everyone might recognize the sim. This is Nyan Spectre.
Yeah.
He had a previous name. What was it?
I've only ever known them as Nyan. Okay, it's Nervous.
This is previously Nervous Subject in the Sims 2 rendition.
Spoilers.
But sort of like a pre-Nervous, like if he was never given away. He's actually a teenage here. He's a teenager and lives with his mother, Olive. So I'm not going to spoil too much, but he has an interesting birthmark.
How'd he get that?
Yeah. So really excited about this sim, and I'm already on a quest for him. It's one of our tarot quests. So I'm going to go over here, and I hope he'll just pop up so I have to go look, but let's go find him. Let's stop eulogizing. Where is he going? Oh, he might be coming to the eulogy. Probably. Okay, let's report our findings on this quest to him. Okay, we don't have to go there anymore. I'm sorry. So we're going to report our findings on this quest. It was one that I've mostly completed already. I just haven't given it back to him. And
one of the tarot cards. Father Winter?
Yeah, that was the Father Winter, the Advocate one. And you can see it's now here in our inventory. And we can actually ask him for a new quest to offer to help with favor. And the reason why I knew that he was somebody I could offer to help, we'll show in a moment, but this is the one I already completed. Yep. This is the other one. You want to read it?
Yeah, a strange or just strange. Grim is as mystifying as the baleful bog itself. But I am no fool. I know he'd be around more if he could. But he's got a business to run. Could you do me a favor? Deliver this to him. It's our own inside joke. You never know when death will come. Funny, right? I hate that you made me read that.
I made you read it on purpose because I knew you'd hate that I made you read that.
I don't do dad jokes.
So we can pick up this quest to do, and now we will get another tarot card when we complete this one. So that is exciting. But if you ever are wanting to know who has the tarot quests in each of the 3 neighborhoods, I'll just teleport over here.
Cheater.
Yep. So each of these, there are these tarot tomes. So you can go find them. You can go view them. And you can learn about the Order of Lenore, which has some very fun lore, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, this is a really in-depth collection / kind of quest line almost.
Mm-hmm. And these 4 sims each have quests that you can do. There are also other ways you can find tarot cards, but different from a lot of collections, there's a unique way to find each one.
Yeah, every card has a unique method of obtaining it. And We've done a really helpful thing here.
We have a lot of collections because we have all packs. So with the tarot cards, when you hover over here, it gives you hints if you don't have it.
Yeah, since these are all acquired through unique methods, you can get an update of how you might find them through this menu.
Yeah, and you can see there are a lot of them.
I love the art for these. I think we'll show more of this later when we get to Build By.
But Jessica, what if I wanted to play with tarot and I haven't collected the tarot collection yet?
Yeah, the tarot collection is quite in-depth to get, but if you just want a basic tarot deck to do some readings with, you can get it from Build By directly. If you do the collection, you get a more advanced version that has some additional effects. But the basic tarot deck is totally purchasable.
So I think I have one right here, the Bibbidi Basics tarot deck. And I could just draw a nightly reading if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if I get the collection one here, I can create this in its own deck, and it has some magical interactions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very fun. Cups reversed. Half full of emotions, but empty of the energy needed to process them. Your cup needs more time to equalize. Fill your needs. You can mop up after. Crying it out or using a voodoo doll is desired. So they kind of give you hints and like help you know what you should be doing to see the gameplay relating to these whenever it happens. All right. So I love the art for these. I think that's one of my favorite things about it.
Yeah, like we'll show more when we get to the build section, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to show it off. There is a picture where we can have all the art on it. So that's amazing.
They're all beautiful, and they're deep cuts of Sims lore.
We are still currently experiencing our funeral, and I think it's about the time that if Poppy, in around 4 hours, if she was going to develop a grief type, it would be happening.
Yeah, so, they won't always. I think that is one of the big things. It's a variety of different reactions and impacts on Sims based on who they are. Because I think making each Sim feel a little bit more unique in this regard is really important for storytelling.
It's so creepy at night here with the fog. I was just curious if we get to see their swing. There's also, so this neighborhood, oh, did you see it?
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah. So yeah, there's also a lot of ghosts here because this neighborhood in specific is very haunted. It's very thin on the veil. And it's not like an afterlife neighborhood, but it's, yeah. So I think this is a great place for both living and deceased Sims to live personally.
It's fun if you're a macabre Sim.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. 36 minutes. And I think she has around 2 hours left. So we'll see if she gets the grief type here. But I was also planning on whenever people leave for this funeral, I was going to show a new interaction that are on the graves. But you have to have them not present to see it. So everyone should go away, please. Thank you for returning.
Get out of here.
Okay, so he left. So if I wanted, now we have a new interaction that helps you just play ghosts quicker, which is add ghosts to household.
Yeah, we try to really ungate getting a ghost into your Sims gameplay. As you guys probably have seen, you can now make them in cast directly, but you can also add them to this method.
So let's just go ahead and add them to the household and see that Noelle is now a member of this house. And how's she doing?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. Let's just see. She might not have gotten one this time.
Did she hold it together?
I think she might have held it together.
Okay, so like you won't always get a grief outcome.
Yeah. So, yep, I don't think she did this time. But let's go ahead then and look at the next thing we were going to look at, which is killing off a Sim. Are you gonna
provoke Mr. Chaos? This is a bad idea.
Well, this is our new death. There's a few different ways you can die in this pack. So the elder age, if you have life and death, you can die in your sleep sometimes more gracefully than falling on the floor.
This one's a little more grisly.
I love this one. And then I'll call it the next one whenever we see it later. Oh, it almost killed us.
A close encounter with death. You're on my list, Summer. You've been pushing the line, living dangerously. Perhaps you think you're immune to the consequences of your actions. Perhaps you're brave, or perhaps you're just foolish. But let me make this clear. You are on very, very thin ice. After your latest brush with death, I'll be keeping a particularly close eye on you, and if you even think about stepping one toe out of line, I'll be there to collect your soul. I like you, Summer, but as you spend the next few days reeling for your near-death experience, you should know that you're on death's doorstep. It would be wise of you to be careful. Your next mistake will be your last.
I love it when Grim yells at you. Like, it makes
It's a
me
very
like,
ominous pop-up.
I think it's so good. It makes me feel all like, ugh, every
Also,
time it happens.
Grimm's fingernails upset me.
They're coffin shaped. So Realme would be like, I'm sorry. But Summer's going to say, you can't scare me.
I'm sure this isn't a bad idea at all.
And we're going to do it again. He flew off. So he can't kill us at the moment, but he'll come back, I'm sure.
I went off on a trip. I'm sure
on a trip.
The crow has things to do, places to be, but it will come back in a moment.
We could show off. He's a ghost, so we could show off some ghost stuff while we wait.
Oh, the woohoo!
Yeah. So this panel here is our new Ghost Mastery.
Yeah,
in the Simology panel.
So ghosts are now a full occult, and that's a thing the players really wanted. As you use your ghost powers to cause emotional impacts on the living, you'll get points which let you basically level up your ghost powers. There's kind of a morality system of good and, let's say malevolent and benevolent powers. So the more malevolent ones might be curses or scaring people. The benevolent ones will be making people feel relief and like repairing things. And there's also neutral powers if you want to do things like disable motive drain and that kind of thing.
This one lets you teleport, and this
The
one
woohoo one
unlocks Transcendent Woohoo.
Which lets you woohoo living sim as a ghost.
As a ghost in an object.
Yeah, in any object that you can possess.
So 2 ghosts can possess woohoo now in any object, or almost any object within reason.
Mr.
There's
Chaos
a lot
is back.
of them. But a living in a ghost sim normally cannot possess woohoo, but if you have the transcendent woohoo, they can transcendent woohoo. So these 2 can woohoo. Transcendent woohoo with Summer. We're going to select it.
So exciting.
Okay. Don't make food. I want you to go do that. Okay. So he's going to ask. That's from a different expansion pack, so ignore that. And okay. So they're going to do some transcendent woohoo here.
You can do this in so many objects. Like I said, we know what you're about.
Like we could the bookcase. See the TV.
It's like pretty much almost anything you can possess.
Yeah. I love the audio for this one. It's so like ghostly.
I was doing some research getting ready for the stream and playing at home, and my 2 Sims were woohooing inside a TV set, and my girlfriend walked by. She's like, what the heck is going on your screen? It's like, don't worry about it. It's The Sims.
Just Sims things.
Yeah, just Sims things.
Yep.
This is how you void a warranty.
Oh gosh. So there's this woohoo, there's the coffin woohoo, and there's the crypt woohoo in this expansion. More woohoo than I expected in an expansion about death, but here we are. It's The Sims.
All right.
So she also has a new interaction on her husband, or her ex-husband. She's now widowed, actually, which is new.
Yeah.
And now I can go here to our relationship, and I can actually choose to ask to stay married.
Yeah, this enables both stories, because I think some players will want to be widowed if their sim partner dies, and some players will want to tell the story of the love that lasts through death. So now you've got that option.
Yeah, I think that's a really nice touch. And let's go ahead and go here, and once again, let's try to provoke Mr. Chaos. Because I was going to try to get her killed.
They're busy.
Love reunited only for it to be torn apart again.
Uh-oh.
The
The red eyes.
The red eye's given away.
That is a strong crow.
It is a strong crow. I give you, everyone, the murder. Death by murder crows. And Grim's here.
Grim must be so annoyed. It's like, I told you what would happen.
I told you.
I warned you.
I warned you. So, I was going to show this off. This is exciting. So, we have more choices where you can challenge Grim to spare the life now. So, I put some objects down. I put one from Growing Together, which is the hopscotch, and one for chess.
Okay, chess with the Grim Reaper, very iconic.
Yes.
Hopscotch the Grim Reaper, less iconic, but I like the energy.
It's my favorite one. There's a bunch of others, like there's the basketball. You can play basketball and stuff, but there's a bunch of other ones. But this one is hilarious to me because he doesn't have feet, and so you go do it, and he's just like cheating.
Grim is very good at games.
He is. It's not very likely that you'll beat him, but I want her to die, so I'm not going to challenge him. But because who knows? Maybe Noelle's got game. We'll see, or we won't see because I don't want to find out.
Oh, Poppy.
So
life comes at you fast. Death comes at you faster.
Poor Poppy. Poppy's like, I just got over my grandma. Really?
Well, now you got 2 ghost parents. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So this is an updated menu here. This is this is actually part base game update, part life and death.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so Playable Ghost. If you want to just continue playing as a ghost, now you just click Playable Ghost. We made it a lot easier to become a ghost and get ghosts in your gameplay. If you don't want to control the sim, you can have them become a free roaming ghost. And then if you've unlocked it, you can also do Rebirth, which I think we're going to dive into a little bit later. Or?
Yeah, we're going to do it through gameplay.
Okay.
So you can choose it right now, but if you also want to do your unfinished business first, you probably want to stick around as a playable ghost.
Yeah.
So we're going to become a playable ghost. We already showed you the ghost panel with Ghost Mastery on Noelle. So I'll just show you really quick, though, that our Soul's Journey, we have unlocked the second part here.
Now it becomes unfinished business. Mm-hmm. And if you complete this all the way, you'll get the ability to rebirth as a burning soul, which is a very powerful trait. I'll tell you more about it when we get to that part.
Yeah, definitely. And then also just for funsies with the base game update, we updated the needs so that they have new, spookier style.
Yeah. This is a small thing, but I know players wanted it. Just make it more sensible that you have things like a bladder need as a ghost.
Another awesome
Is Grim
thing.
Consoling Poppy? That's cute.
I think so. That's really sweet. Don't trust him. She is his kid.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Okay, so another thing you can do with life and death is you can set ghost color. So you see that she just became happy, so she became green. So by default, ghosts follow their mood.
Right.
But we added this, so if you don't want to have a mood-based color, you could choose a color, and they'll just stay that color all the time.
Will always be pink, obviously.
Yes, I like the pink one too.
Yeah.
I think in real life, I'm not sure if I want to be pink, but I love this look on a ghost. So let's go ahead and go show off Rebirth really quick. To do that, we are going to have to travel.
The afterlife.
Yeah.
To the Baleful Bog.
To the Baleful Bog. So we could check out this map a little bit later. But we are going to go here to Club Eternity, to the nightclub.
I love me a ghostly nightclub.
I do too.
This place
especially this
looks
one.
Classy. Looks bougie.
I feel like that's one of the things you're most excited about at the beginning of this pack.
I love a good club.
Yeah.
In real life or in The Sims.
This one's a cool looking one. The builders did amazing. All right, so it
is gorgeous.
This is Club Eternity. I love it.
The
Lots of ghosts come here.
It's so good.
Like look at the little booths. It's
a classy place.
This
is the kind of place that has a password to enter in real life.
So let's go over here. We can check this out more later during the world overview section, but you can have an out-of-body experience.
Yeah,
this is the Baleful Bog.
If you want to play with death, as it were, if you want to be a temporary ghost, you have an out-of-body experience by swimming here.
I can't do it right now because I'm already a ghost.
All right, ghost. You can't be a double ghost.
If you do it too much, that's one of the ways you can die.
Yep.
We also have our ghostly cow plant here. Percival the Patient.
Percival, is that what we named it?
And you can get these through satisfaction points in the reward store. So if you wanted to get your own ghostly cow plant, that's how you can get it. So she's still coming over here. Okay.
I love this neighborhood.
Is here.
So spooky.
And we are going to experience Rebirth. So we tell her to go on out to have Rebirth.
So this is a really exciting feature for me. Like, this allows you to start doing generational gameplay with just one sim. I'm the kind of player, I'll just admit it, I tend to only play one or two sims, and I want to do everything with them, and I never let them die. I just, like, find every in-game way of extending their lifespan. But now I can actually
kill my sims.
You're a generational player. But, like, now I can actually do that gameplay, and I can do multiple cycles of the sims. I'm really excited to see what you guys do with this. Like, I want to see, like, 100 Rebirth challenge or something. Like, all the lives of this one sim.
It is really fun. And I feel like I'm curious if there will be any new challenges around this, but also it's really cool for legacy gameplay.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to quite give up that sim yet, but you want to like tell a new story and
don't be scared to lose them because you can keep on using them.
So on this screen, you're going to choose where you're going to live. I'm going to go to Willow Creek, and I'm going to choose the Goth household.
Of course.
Yes. You can choose an empty household and start brand new and fresh, but I want to be reborn into the Goth family here. So I'm going to choose Rebirth, and we load into Create a Sim. Originally, your sim will always start out as the genetic, like, exact of their previous life. So if you want to tell that story where you always look like you did in a previous life, you can. You can also, though, choose, if I wanted to do genetics, I could play with the Sims genetics in this little pop-up here.
Make him look like a goth.
I could look like the actual child of the goths. So this gives me their genetics. And then if I am older, you can see I look like them. And then if I want to reset to resemble my past life, that's also an option where you can go back to it and get that again. We wanted you to be able to be reborn as any age group you wanted to tell that story.
Yeah, and depending on how far you got in your soul journey, when you are rebirthed, you might have things like the burning soul trait. You might be able to recall past life to get your old reward traits back and carry them on into the next playthrough. It's kind of like a New Game Plus in a way.
As well as like sentiments. You can also go here and you can like choose new relationship with these people if you want. So that's really nice that you can do that. Let's see. So let's go ahead and make her an infant for this. Oh, you could also be reborn as an occult if you have these expansion packs.
Love it.
And you can also be reborn if I want as a ghost. So
if you're older.
If I'm a little bit older here, I can also choose a ghost. And this is part of the base game update, being able to choose a death type for your ghost. But you can also do an occult with a ghost.
I love that we're able to do this. The idea of being like a ghost vampire, ghost werewolf, very exciting to me.
Yeah, you could actually do it before this pack came out, but now that so we wanted to support being able to do that for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and have her be reborn as an infant.
Adorable.
And this will be her mother, father, sister, brother. And then let's go ahead then. Summer Goth.
And as you play through again, you're going to notice like different impacts of interacting with folks from your past life. Think almost deja vu, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Like if you had a past soulmate and you're not related to them whenever you're reborn, then you could potentially find that, or like a friend, rather than like it being like a family member. It's like all about your connection with someone from before. And then there's this adorable little like rebirth animation. Whatever you,
this thing.
I love this. I love that if you're an adult, it can fail.
The face plant.
Yeah. It can be a nice one, or you can just like face flat on the sidewalk.
Adorable.
And all of them realize, that they have this new sim in their family that's like a new family member for them. And
cute.
It's just such a nice little story. All right. So I think this is everything we wanted to show for our initial part of gameplay.
Do we want to throw it over to our our fellow Grim turns?
Yeah, let's go ahead and throw it on over to Mercy and to Mike to look at Cass.
See you guys.
See you later.
So, I'm Mercy, the host of Behind the Sims, but a Grimturn reached out to me and asked if I'd like to participate in the developer live stream to showcase the Create a Sim. So I said yes, because if you don't know something about me, I love Create a Sim. All of my, like, not all obviously, but a good portion of my hours in this game are in Create a Sim. So I'm really excited to be here to show you guys all these amazing items, because like many Create a Sim fans, I love a good townie makeover, so we're going to walk through it with the Goth family. And I have Mike, the art director, to talk us through it. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mercy. Hey, I'm Mike. I'm the
Thanks.
art director on this pack.
Thanks for joining, Mike. So, okay, this is really exciting. I want to walk you guys through just this family. We all know the Goths, but I went ahead and added some additions, including Gunther Goth and Cornelia Goth as ghosts, because you can create ghosts in Create a Sim. And if you know, you know. Gunther Goth and Cornelia Goth, if you don't know, are actually the parents of Mortimer, but I killed them off because they are no longer a part of us, and you are able to do that in this pack with the features that they brought into the base game. So death by fire, again, if you know, you know. But regardless, one of the cool things about Create a Sim is that they added ghost assets. So I'm really excited to walk you guys through the specific ghost assets, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to jump into the actual living, and then we'll go into the dead. So, Mike, I got to ask, where are we starting? Matriarch, patriarch? Like, I want options.
Always matriarch.
There's so many good things in this pack. Okay, cool. We'll go with the matriarch. So, Bella Goth, ready everyone for the makeover? 1, 2, 3, bam. I mean, she's stunning. I love these items. Mike, why don't you walk us through the thought process for some of these Create a Sim items, the styles, the designs, and I'll kind of showcase all the different items here.
Yeah, thank you. We were internally calling the aesthetic Death Shroud Core, because it pulls from, it takes cues from clothing and designs that are traditionally associated with death, funerals, and mourning attire in a lot of places around the world. So you'll see lots of layers and sheer materials, and materials like a sheer satin that is associated with death because it's the thin veil between this world and the next. So, and then we tried to interject any symbolism that is known around the world as being associated with death, like you see the feathers on the collar, or cameos that are popular with macabre players. Little bits like that we tried to stick everywhere.
This feather collar, I know our amazing developers are rocking it right now, but I am such a fan of this fit.
Oh yeah.
I was like, like the Black
This
Widow
one also
challenge. I cannot wait to see all the simmers out there really showcasing their Black Widow styles with this pack. Because funeral chic is what we'll call it. I'm gonna call it funeral chic.
But
you want to kind of talk us through? Oh, Death Shroud Core. Noted. Noted. So yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about like the design choices, the color choices? I'm walking through some of the things with our dear old Bella, but I definitely want to hear like the inspiration, the choices. What are some of the items and symbols that players should look out for when they're playing this pack?
Yeah. Start with color. That in any traditional cast, we're trying to give you a full range, right? So one asset has a lot of usability, right? So we try to give you warm colors, cool colors, basics, black, white, neutrals. And if we're going macabre, we were trying to find a way to still give you those warms and cools, but not give you a bright red, right? So how do we still make it feel macabre? So you see a lot of these have ombres. They have these color gradients that are suggestive of ghostly, ethereal feeling. Always assets that feel appropriate to wear to awake. You'll see the nails are coffin shaped. The cameos.
As a nail girly?
Yeah. And you'll see the cameos, the hardware, the buckles, everything is always the collars. It's always trying to point to something that's symbolic, associated with death. Like the belt here has a memento mori buckle, and you'll see butterfly collars, butterflies associated with death, or feathers, or just everywhere we could, we tried to interject that kind of universal symbolism of death.
Okay, speaking of that, we're going to go to our next doll. This is Cassandra, who is now officially everyone's favorite day of the week because, boom, like, I love these fits. I love the item choices that you guys used. I really like how it's leaning into that really like macabre style. I have so many Sims in my game that I could tell different stories with. One of my favorite parts of Create a Sim is that I can create so many different diverse stories just with clothing. And I think this pack nailed it because, I mean, come on. Like, if you knew me in a certain era, this is exactly what I wore. I love the tops. I like that we put in details with the sleeves, the cut-throughs, the cutaways. And I like, again, that it wasn't just thought of as like items for like young adults, but like even teens too, because like the belt loops, I had this. I wore this. This was a look.
Yeah, we were definitely approaching it as this whole family is macabre, but the different ages might approach it differently, right? Where there's a little more contemporary for the teen, where the matriarch might have something that's a little more Victorian leaning.
I think these outfits are so cute. I love a good mix and match. Did you guys find it challenging to be able to create so many mix and match pieces? Because like, as I was playing this and kind of giving them their makeover, I was like, man, there's so many pairings and outfits that you could put together. I'm definitely going to hop into the shoes in just a second. But yeah, just want to ask you guys about your pairings and how you put everything together.
Yeah, we do a lot of paper dolling. We take the concept of the separates and make sure that this can work with that. Sometimes it's combinations you don't expect to work, but they do, and try to make sure we don't leave anything hanging, right? That this doesn't have any pairings, or hey, this gave me an idea. I could mix this with that. And then people always surprise me and they combine things that I didn't think they would.
Yeah, I am really excited for the shoes in this pack particularly. One cool thing I noticed as I was going through Create a Sim, and we'll notice it when we go through here, is that you guys made a lot of like gender neutral clothing that were compatible on both genders. So on masculine and female frames, you'll see these shoes. I have Mortimer rocking these shoes, but I just love that we thought about like what is not in the game and how can we add it in there for both sides.
Yeah, and just as even on just the craft side of making it, I'm always excited when I see something. It works so great on both genders when sometimes I wouldn't have expected it to.
And also, just a shout out to the person who gave us another sleep shirt. Not all of us like to wear pants when we sleep, and I just felt underrepresented, and now I feel a lot more represented with more sleep shirts. Really, really cute. And then you also thought of swimwear. I know this showed up in the trailer, but I just cannot get enough of the details that you all put into this pack when it came to the additions and like just the thought process in things that we don't have in game.
Yeah, there was definitely this one. Assets are a win when you have we have a theme for the pack. Do we have anything existing in the game that they can already use as a swimsuit? No, in this case we need something macabre. So this and the male and the female bathing suits are really exciting and unique to this pack.
You brought up the male swimsuit, so we're gonna jump to Mortimer because Mortimer. Okay, 1, 2, 3, makeover, bam. I mean, we all know who this is. We know who this is. This is amazing. I love the pinstripes. I love the textures. The masculine Sims are really getting a lot of love in this pack, and I am just so excited to just see how you're able to mix and match and paper doll so many of these different looks.
Yeah, you'll see the details in like the material and the patterns that you'll again see is trying to pull in the the pattern of the skeleton on his chest on one of the tops, or anywhere we could try to give you everything you need to tell your story of your eccentric uncle or dad who shows up at the wake.
Ooh, okay, details. Okay, hair. Okay, kitchen. I think that's one thing that'll definitely stand out, and there's so much for players to discover when it comes to just the details. I'm kind of feeling this skunk look, so we might keep it. No, that's fine, Mortimer. I'll fix it. But you were talking about a little bit of the details in the pieces, so we can go through some of those.
Yeah. You'll see, like the skull. Some of them are more subtle than others. The previous piece had the skeleton shape to the pattern. There's a little more subtle skull there, and very intricately included into the sweater.
Okay, I kind of see it. Is it right there? That skull, that skull right there. And this is the rib cage look, right?
Yeah. And then also any of the shears, we had a great opportunity to give you different patterns, so we can really get the most out of one asset.
Ooh, I love the cardigan patterns. Pattern seems to be a very strong theme with this pack.
We did end up with there was a lot of opportunity to tell the stories with pattern.
And then, of course, you give us our neutrals because it has to be versatile. Like, not everyone necessarily wants to have a pattern. They just want a neutral look.
Yeah.
And like I said, some of the outfits, this definitely works on fem frames, but I'm really feeling it for Mortimer. I can't even lie. And the butterfly collars, I just really like the additions that this is adding. There's also, of course, just working through accessories. We do have new glasses, which are really nice. There is also some accessories and items that are locked behind careers. So that doctor's mask, I did not unlock because spoilers, y'all gotta explore some things yourselves, okay? But absolutely, I just think there's just so much fun in the items in this pack, and I really love how much attention was brought especially to the masculine Sims, because they got shorts. Oh, look his knees. They got shorts, they got pants, they have new styles of pants. They, like I said, a lot of them are conversions so that you could go back and forth. And then for surprise men's swimwear.
This is coming back.
Things I didn't know I needed are coming in this pack. Outfits I didn't know I needed to see Mortimer in. And before I lose myself and get too caught up, this also works on feminine frames. Very cute. Even Bella can get some love and match her husband. So that's just a brief glimpse of some of the masculine items, and of course, many of these you'll get to see and explore. As mentioned, lots of great conversions. So the same thing that you saw on Bella also works on Mortimer. Very nice, very thoughtful, very good looking. Now, it would not be a Sims game if we didn't have a full body outfit. Who's responsible for this, Mike?
Nina. All Nina. This is, the idea was, well, if we're going to do a crow costume, we've got to do like the creepiest macabre version possible, like a turn of the century handmade nightmare fuel version of the costume. I thought she did a beautiful job with this.
She did an amazing job. I love the hand stitching, so it seems like a homemade costume. And don't worry, the kiddos get them too. So we'll jump to Alexander, who also got his little macabre makeover. And 1, 2, 3, boom. He's so cute. Look at him. Much of the hairstyles do convert to children as well, so you can absolutely explore some of these hairs and different looks on children as well. But the full body fits are so cute. He's so adorable. I feel like this pack was made for the Goth family.
He's all dressed up and ready to go to a wake.
Yeah, just like this too. Again, I love all the homemade costume work that we did in this. I think it's really nice what the team has put together. Very, very cute. And then it seems like we have a little outfit for him that I believe this is for Ghost?
Yeah, there's kind of a great, you'll see outfits that are a little more extreme, a little more costumey, and you'll see the tatters at the base that they were made to, all right, if you're telling your story as a ghost, then these can, here's some cast assets that are made for that.
He's so handsome. Okay, we're gonna turn Alex. Let's switch him over to Femme so we can look at some of the Femme items. Cute ones. So let's see. There's a new sweater. Very cute. And then there's some full body assets. Oh my gosh. I mean, I know this is a dress, but I would use this as a nightgown, but that's okay. You can use it for whatever you want, Simmers. Play your way. Then there are some new dresses. Super cute. Hold on really quick. I need to get this out of my system. Okay, cool. Thanks. I just really like the combinations that we have here. Right now, I'm exploring this pack with just base game and the pack Life and Death, but I can imagine using this for, like, you know, cold weather, hot weather, all sorts of outfits with it. So it's very, very cute, and I really like a lot of these additions that were brought into this. Of course, the kiddos were considered too. So this is Summer Goth. I had to name her because she may or may not have been reborn. But look at the skulls in this. You guys were not kidding when you said you dropped little like icons and hints in this without making it like too over the top.
Yeah. Everywhere we could, you know, we didn't want them to feel out of place with their parents. So the family has a full vibe, and everybody needs their gear to fit in.
A little crow told me that you think children in all black are a little bit scary. Is that
I don't
still,
use it.
is
Yeah,
that still accurate?
I'm not a big fan of giving toddler Kovars color variants that are all black. Feels a little off to me, but in this pack, it makes perfect sense.
I think it looks lovely. And all of these items are also good on the, even if you switch frames, so it's going to take it out, but you can absolutely still see that these outfits are available for little baby masculine sims too. Toddlers also got some love, so let's go back and check out some of the toddler looks. Ooh. So cute. Let's get rid of what has been in here. So, okay, sorry. Let's go. There is a new top. Again, some of those symbolisms, the butterfly, I think that's one of the symbols of life and death. Am I?
Yeah, it's true. And, you know, softened up for a toddler. You know, your adorable little toddler still has a dark side.
I love that. And these are the little jumper. The details a little so cute. I love toddlers. I love infants. I think this is how I get to explore it because as someone who does not have children, The Sims is where I have my babies. And I am really excited. Like, she's so cute. I love this piece. We're going to give her the black and red because she is part of the Goth family, but just so that our players can see some of the color swatches. You also added some light colors, you know, so that it's versatile, but I think these are really cute items and really thoughtful items. And then, yeah, of course, can't do it without a, you know, thank you, Nina. I can make a family of crows, the things I didn't know I needed. Very cute. And these swatches are also accurate to crow colors, I believe.
They are.
Fun facts that I learned working at The Sims and playing with The Sims is that I get to learn that crows have all these colors. So let's see. Let's go into the Ghost Create a Sim. So again, cool things about this is Gunther Gott, the father. Cool things that you'll see is that you can go ahead and toggle on and off so you can get a better idea of, again, what your ghost looks like when he was alive. So if you want to create a ghost and you want to do things like just verify their skin tone and see what they look like, you can go ahead and toggle your ghost overlay back and forth to give you that decision. So from there, let's look at some of the ghost items. There's a whole new category for ghost full body. Time out. I love the idle animation for ghosts. It's very fun. It's very spooky. Appreciate the team for adding that nice little touch. But we're going to turn off the ghost overlay and look at some of the full body items that are available for ghosts. So you want to talk us through some of the thought process with these items and clothing choices?
Yeah, these get a little like we're hinting at with the children that we give you a little more extreme, right? If you want someone your ghost who's been haunting the manor for a long time, right? So you need some more period clothing, right? Where the living Sims have contemporary clothes that are inspired by the past. These could possibly be a couple 100-year-old Sims, right? So their clothing's dated. And also you'll notice the bony hands and sometimes a bony rib cage poking through here or there.
Oh, I love the bony rib cage one. Let me pull that so that players can see it. How cool is that? Can you guys see it in there? It's like a little rib cage. Y'all got a little macabre with this one. And there are also really nice items for the female Sims. So let's look at those ghostly items. Toggle on and off. So that's what it looks like on. Again, this is an outfit that you can also wear not as a ghost, but there is a ghostly version with the fingertips, the creepy fingers, the creepy hands. And the wear and tear, man. Again, I think one of the just stars of the cast in these items is the details that they offer, both simple as well as like the wear and tear look that matches the environment that the game is in. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
This is really nice. I think the team did such a lovely job with the items in this pack. I don't want to spoil it all. There's a lot to explore in this pack. Mike, do you have a favorite? Whoa. Sorry. Discovery. Real-time discovery. This is wild. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
It's what happens when you die. So it's not inaccurate. Yeah, I'm really excited to explore this pack. I think the team did such a lovely job. I'm gonna put her in a ghosty outfit so that she's like her back isn't all exposed. She can go into her ghost form. But Mike, do you have any favorite items from this pack? Is there anything you think I missed that you would want the community to see?
I think you gave them a pretty good overview.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, we're gonna sit on the matriarch.
You got it.
There's lots of, like I said, there's just so much to explore. It's impossible. The challenge was to try and do 30 minutes. Oh, hair. The hairs. Yes, please talk to us about your color blocking.
The ombres, the color blocking. I love the approach here to give that. Again, like the clothes that have the ombres in them. We were trying to bring across that ethereal feel. Like, what would a ghost hairstyle, a ghost-inspired hairstyle be? So some of these gradients, transitions, like this color blocking here, or this, they can feel ghostly and ethereal, or they can also feel like, well, I could use this with any other pack, and I just like coloring my hair this way.
I love this. I love this combination. It's so pretty. Okay, so hairs, and again, some of these hairs are very versatile, so you'll see them on both Masked Sims and Fem Sims. But we'll go ahead and walk through here one more time just to make sure everybody gets a good look. Because again, some Simmers have already pointed it out, but you'll notice that Nion's hair, a very special Sim, also has this included in. So we put little elements and teases throughout the pack. It's very cute and very thoughtful. This was so much fun to explore, and I think there's just so many little creative Sim wins that are in here that I think players will get to have fun exploring. But Mike, thank you so much. Simmers, Thank you so much for having me on. I'm going to go ahead and there's more to see. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this Spirit of Mike right back over to Jessica and Morgan. Thanks, Simmers.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome back.
I'm Morgan, once again back.
I'm Jessica, also once again back.
And Mike's still here with us, too.
Hey, everybody.
On, Mike?
Yep.
So during this section, we are going to show you Ravenwood, and then we'll look at some of our build buy objects that we have in this expansion.
Yeah, we'll go to that little looks like a department store you built almost.
Yeah, it does kind of look like one. So here you can see, I once again, for people that might have joined, I do have all packs installed, so you can see cross pack, and I'll try to call it out as we might see anything that's cross pack. But this is Ravenwood and our new bubble. I think it's beautiful, so definitely wanted to show this off with our crow. Love this one.
Yeah, I love the crow.
And then we will do, yeah. I loved seeing you give art direction on it because there was so much I didn't think about with crows and the differences between crows and ravens that I've learned on this pack.
The difference between Gothic and Neo-Romanian I learned on this pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to tell us
all.
about the 3 different neighborhoods here, Jessica?
Yeah, so
go ahead.
there's like a whole spectrum of experience on this pack from life to death, and it's reflected in the neighborhoods. We have on the living side the countryside neighborhood, which is very much grounded in reality. And then you have the afterlife, which is obviously beyond the veil. It's very spooky. It's where you're going to see Grimm and like all the supernatural stuff. And then you've got the balance point where the veil is thin is the village. And it's this really nice storytelling through just the world building.
Yeah. So there's also festivals in each of these.
Yeah.
You can see here, Crow's Crossing. You have the Try Before You Die casket sale. I love that one. The Crow's Crossing Celebration of Life, Ravenwood Family Day. Up here in the Whispering Glen, you have the Moon Revelry.
That one's my favorite. I love the idea of a bunch of Sims just naked underneath the moon, just being kind of rowdy.
That's only during the full moon that they get naked.
Well, that's the best time to do it.
The rest of the time they've got their clothes on. And then there's 2 festivals in Morning Vale. The Afterlife Anonymous Festival and the Thinned Festa Vale.
These are hard to say.
They are. So love these festivals. I think they're great. Definitely check those out whenever you are in game here. We already saw Crow's Crossing, so I'm thinking we will hop in and look a little bit at Morningvale, and then we'll come over and look at this neighborhood whenever we.
Store.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say these lots were built by some of our creators, so wanted to give them a shout out here. They were made by Create 4 Sims, Symphony, Sophie the Sim, and Kate Emerald. So
much love.
Much love.
It's such a great job.
Yeah, they did wonderful. Love them. The only one they didn't make here is my weird Hay Hill. Like this is the lot with all the build buy stuff I put down. It's normally an empty lot. So I guess giving you a quick overview, we have a pre-made house that's a 20 by 20, a nightclub that's a 30 by 30, a 30 by 20 residential that's a starter home you can move into directly, a 30 by 30 empty lot. Over here we have a bar, which also has a bunch of things for hosting a funeral in it, 30 by 30. The Gomez family lives here, 30 by 30. The Aether family lives here, 50 by 50. They have a very fun story. I like their story. I won't get into it and spoil it, but that one's full. And this one's normally a 64 by 64 empty lot, so this is where I'm now going to be living with all my horses, the horse ranch expansion. Down here, we have the Spectre family. They don't actually have a baby. I don't know where that baby came from.
Sims be Simsing.
Sims be Simsing. Our 64 by 64 cemetery, which you can place in any world on.
Yeah, you can build your own cemeteries.
Definitely. A starter plus. I think we've gone through most of these whenever we were in that neighborhood. A starter and then an empty.
The gorgeous greenhouse.
A pre-built emptier lot. Yeah. So let's go ahead and load in here to the Azadi Gomez household, and we will just check out this neighborhood real quick before we go into build buy in the other one. So this is the Morning Vale neighborhood. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the art inspiration for this one, Mike?
Yeah, Morning Vale. The afterlife is it's the afterlife, so all bets are off. Where the entire world is inspired by Romania, but in the afterlife, things get a little stranger. The sky is different. The time is different, right? The colors of everything. You'll see in that the waters, the beautiful spectrum of colors, but we refer to it like it's beautiful as in like an oil slick on top of the water, you see a rainbow, and that's beautiful. There's a twist, a dark twist to it. So yeah, you'll see a lot of layers of history in this neighborhood. There people have been using this for eons, and hopefully you see all that when you're telling your stories.
Yeah, I love all the details around here. Like, I think the first time I saw the bonefish here, I freaked out. The cow plant's amazing. I love all the, like, even like the architecture with like the hidden motifs everywhere is beautiful.
It feels almost like a place out of time.
So there's a town hall here as well you can click on that you can read about. You can visit the archives. You can also focus camera to like see the different places around this area. So right now we don't have a festival going up, but if I was like, I wonder where the Afterlife Anonymous Festival is, it'll take you right there. So you can see this is where it will be set up and happening.
This one's fun. It's very tongue-in-cheek.
And then we also have the
Spooky
guardian tree and Alice, who is the ghost mother, who has her own quest lines. So, you can go alone. We won't go back to the Grim Career right now. So, yeah, she is the weeping mother, and she has her own quests.
There's a lot to uncover here.
Yeah.
Her relationship with certain other ghostly Sims.
Yes. And this is where the festival happens, and there's like some local customs and lore around that, and that's also a very fun one to attend. So, let's see. Yeah, this is just a really beautiful, otherworldly neighborhood. Let's go ahead and go back to Manage Worlds, and we will hop into the countryside one to look at it really quick. You said that these were inspired by Romania. Mike, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so when all three neighborhoods, as Jessica mentioned, there's a gradient there's kind of the countryside is the normal, focused on the living, not as much of the ghostly stuff, and all the way to the full spectrum of this is the afterlife in Morningvale. So we're going to Romania here, and it's such a beautiful country. We wanted to show off the natural beauty of it, the Carpathian Mountains, the rolling hills. So this is where you get that part of the world. Just this beautiful landscape, really inspired.
This is he's so sad, he's crying. So he's crying right now because it's a full moon, and during the full moon he cries.
There's a lot of fun stuff like that in the world if you explore it. Like a lot of nuance and things you can discover.
This is actually the location where the Moon Revelry Festival will happen, right over here, whenever it is up and going. And then we also have these really fun collector signs that are around in the neighborhoods that you can click on that sometimes somebody will come and you can, that's not one. Sometimes somebody will come and you can sell your collectibles to them, but also if you click on them, they can show you the focus camera stuff. So these will take you to Moon Revelry, the Ancestor, which is the name of that face cliff, or the Tarot Tome Shrine here. But also there will sometimes be a person here that you can sell your collection items to, which is exciting. So just showing off this neighborhood a little bit and how beautiful it is. But let's go ahead and go back to Manage World so that we can load into that lot.
The Sears lot.
The Sears lot, the one that is not pretty, because yeah.
It feels like my childhood, like hanging out the mall, the department store.
Okay, let's go and build here. So do you have a favorite neighborhood?
It's the Afterlife, for sure. Like I think it's one of the most unique neighborhoods we've ever done. Like it just, like I said, it feels like a place that's outside of time. There's it's kind of imposing in a way, but not necessarily alienating. Like I really love the energy of it.
That makes sense. How about you, Mike? Do you have a favorite one?
Oh, I can't say I have a favorite. They all have their own. They all have their own charm, and I love that there's a great range, and so much went into each one of them. I think you'll find your own favorite.
That's fair. That is definitely fair. I think they're all good for storytelling. We definitely wanted them to all be good for living sims and ghost sims in their own ways.
What's your favorite?
Oh, Crow's Crossing, for sure.
Yeah.
I like the kind of like realism, but also a little bit haunted. I think that's very fun. But like I said, I'm going to play a horse family here with the Horse Ranch expansion. I'm looking forward to that. That might be what I do. So let's start looking at our build buy. I have everything placed down here. Mike, do you want to give us sort of talking about the doors and the architecture? I can kind of run over it as you're telling them.
Yeah. So we again, well, as we mentioned, we're in Romania. So all the build is based on Neo-Romanian architecture. So, and then, obviously we have a death pack. So you'll see some skulls sprinkled in there. There's a little darker, and lighter options. We have obviously a skull on the door. But yeah, you'll see this. It's this beautiful combination of Western influence with some also Eastern, some Ottoman influence. So I think all this build's going to play real nice with other packs that people have, but it stands on its own as well. Also,
I love too these
with the window.
Greenhouse windows.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'll let you go.
We you guys mentioned earlier that we tried to give you with these windows different options. Here's the intact, here's the broken version. So if you want to tell your haunted version of the house, you don't have to use the same broken pattern in every instance of that window. You can have a mix.
Yeah. And up here we have some new roofs.
Oh, I don't know if we mentioned it, but you can place these roof decals on the floor too.
Yep.
A lot of flexibility here.
They're amazing. I love them. All right, so let's go downstairs and look at all the build buy. So there are so many wallpapers. It might flicker. We'll see if it does. But we've got these owls that are amazing.
I love how these actually layer with each other properly.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about our wallpapers at all, Mike?
Yeah, we tried to give you a full range, right? So some of those that were meant initially to be more for the kids' room, like the crows. We were trying to give you your full range. Are you doing your stuffy library in an old mansion, and so you want a traditional wall, or do you want something a little more modern? And what we thought we were doing something a little more for the child's room with the ravens, of course, macabre child, but then the game changer used it in the nightclub, and then it fit perfectly. So it's nice to see when it works. But yeah, trying to give you all the pieces
so many
you need.
walls here. Yeah, amazing. And this is the new floor tile we have as well. Oh, I'll turn off the grid just so we can see it. So we also have some amazing wall things here. We have these are like the Grimm posters.
Mm-hmm.
I love the artwork. This one's amazing.
I like the hidden skulls. I didn't know about this until you told me about it.
Yeah, you want to tell the hidden skull story on this one, Mike? That's my favorite hidden skull story.
At the very beginning, the artist, there were too many skulls. People were hitting that button a little too hard. So I said, no more skulls. We can't have nonstop skulls everywhere. And we ended up this was the first asset that we came to the rule of, if Mike doesn't see it, if he can't see the skull in the first 8 seconds, then it's in. And this was the first one that they slid past me.
Yeah, first 8 weeks, I would never notice that there's a skull here.
I didn't know it was there until you told me that story. I love all these decals. And then these ones are good too. But this is my new favorite piece of art.
I want these on the wall at home so bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are just all of the tarot cards we have, but as art.
These are all like super lore deep cuts too.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite, Mike?
No, I'd say Grimm. I can't pick them because I have to look at them all. So it's a great example of how did The Sims do tarot, right? And how do we incorporate our story into it, make it simmy? Nina put so much work into this, and it shows. What it was initially just supposed to be the cards, and then we said we have to show this off. It has to become a poster on the wall and frame it.
What's your favorite?
My favorite's Judgment. It's the cowplant one. That one. I love this one. This is so fun.
Yes, I love this one too. My favorite is Princess Cordelia. This is our Princess Cordelia reference for the expansion pack. And I think this is a really good example of the deep cut lore. This is a pirate ship because she had a bunch of pirate lovers. And then down here, the carrots and the strawberries, that's how you can determine the gender of a baby whenever a sim is pregnant. And she's pregnant here. And just the thought that went into all of these. I think another favorite one of mine is this is from Sims Medieval.
Been a minute.
The pit beast is down here. I don't know. I love those. We made sure that, while we have these amazing beds, there's a toddler bed as well in this pack. It's so cute. And I love the bassinet that's super creepy.
That is haunted for sure.
Oh, no. Yeah, it probably is. There's a coffin bed, all these awesome chairs. And then these are all good for heirlooms. These are our decoration objects.
Some really great set dressing in this pack.
Yes. The rugs are amazing, I feel like. Very versatile. I love that we got this one in small and also in big.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to show off too. We have this, which is great for heirlooming our quilt. So you can heirloom this, and that is wonderful. I love the little grim.
I never noticed that before.
Yes.
I never play this zoomed in.
And everyone loves a new kitchen.
It's so bougie, but also very severe. I'm sure Mike has better words for this style, but severe is the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, we were trying to ride that line where it feels like it's it's appropriate for the pack. There's shapes and materials that feel like funerary, like the cabinets. You'll see drapes that kind of feel like a funeral carriage. The countertops, same material you'd use maybe for a headstone, but the fixtures, when it's all put together, it still feels like something you could have in a modern house.
Definitely. And this thing scares me.
I think it's cute.
I'm afraid of it.
It's cute until it starts moving.
We have the new crypt with 3 different, very distinct variants on it that you can place down. It's not just open street.
That third one gives me Vegas crypt or something.
I think they're amazing. And then we have this no ghost sign that you can place down that prevents ghosts from being on your lot. This amazing banner. This one's my favorite. The string lights. I know watching videos, people are in love with those. I think they're so cool. And then if you don't want to actually kill off a sim and you just want to build a funeral, we have a ton of different colors and options for designing and decorating and building your own funerals or your own cemeteries. So these are wonderful. And then, like I said before, this is not the pack I would expect 2 swing sets in.
Yeah, it's... I think swings are creepy. I've made that very clear. But it was a nice surprise to be able to get these things in the world. The monkey bars also.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the very twisted swing set. But it didn't feel right in the countryside, so we had to give you a second one.
And this is for moonbathing. So that's what we have here. And then we didn't see it during the funeral, but this is a funeral send-off cannon. So, yeah. I don't know. Any other objects? Oh, the lights. Do you want to talk at all about the lights, Mike?
Yeah, you'll see, we're trying to give you a mix of, does it feel like an antique or a modern interpretation? But even the modern ones still feel like everything should feel kind of candle lit. Because what great manor doesn't have a bunch of candles in it?
They feel
Also
so
a
luxury.
torch.
I love mixing and matching. Yeah. Well, is there anything else you want to take a look at here from Build by Jessica or Mike?
I think the bars are gorgeous.
Oh, the bars, yes.
I can
love
dream
that
of
one.
having such a nice bar in my home.
Yeah. I love this overhead, too, that you can
Yeah.
add in. Oh, they're so good. And then I think I showed these off before, but these are the grave sites where you can like decorate them. And I love how many options there are for these plots. We do have 2 altars. I think we showed the one before, but there's a more outdoorsy style stone
Yeah,
one.
these memorial displays, they're highly customizable, as I mentioned before.
Yeah.
Really, you put almost anything on them that you can normally slot onto a table, and it lets you tell really bespoke stories for the life of that sim. So put the items that you think are appropriate for for honoring them on it.
Definitely. Some amazing bookcases that I love. You can like slot them together. So yeah.
And all the heights. So you can have your super grand library.
Definitely. And then I think these chairs are really cool too because they look
so uncomfortable.
They look a little menacing to me.
Not gonna lie to you, they look horrifying to sleep in.
But also, I love like the little the little details in these. Like, look at the little crows on them, and they go really well with like these decals over here.
The chairs are great.
Amazing.
It's a great way to dial
Yes,
in. Are you going for a more traditional room or a more modern room? So we try to give you a good range.
The couch is nice.
Definitely. Yeah. The whole art team and you just did like amazing. These are so good. So I think that is everything we were wanting to show off today. Thank you so much for joining us and for going through the whole pack. We're extremely excited, obviously. And
yeah, thanks so much, folks. I really hope you enjoy this pack. And I want to see all your cool builds and all the cool stories you try and tell with this one.
All right, let's go ahead and send it back to our Grintern then.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ugh, so many souls to reap today. Better get Employee of the Month for this. Now, how did you like everything the Sims team showed you today? Can I expect to see you all in the Headless headquarters next week, ready to shepherd some souls alongside me? Maybe then I'll show you my true identity. The Sims 4 Life and Death expansion pack launches on October 31st. If you buy by December 12th, you get the Macabre Mementos digital content. Until then, we have 2 haunting events happening on the official Discord server now. Join, unless you're scared of a challenge.